that dating profile might be telling you more than you realize. Have you ever matched with someone who seemed perfect at first glance, only to discover major incompatibilities weeks later? Or maybe you dismiss potential matches based on minor details that actually weren't deal breakers. If you've ever felt overwhelmed trying to figure out which dating profile signals to pay attention to and which ones you can ignore, this video's for you.
Today, we're decoding dating profiles to reveal what really matters, the difference between red flags that signal run away now and yellow flags that simply warrant a conversation. And stay until the end because we'll be responding to some of your comments from our last dating video. So let's get into it.
Hi friends, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome to our community. I'm Tehrina Terry.
And I'm Joel Terry.
We're licensed therapists with 30 years of experience between us, here to help you build healthy relationships.
We do this through sharing with you the ABCs of lasting love: attachment, boundaries, and communication. So if that sounds good to you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can join our growing community.
Online dating profiles are like icebergs. What you see on the surface is just a fraction of what's really there. As therapists, we've guided countless clients through the process of navigating these digital first impressions, and we've noticed something important. Many people either ignore genuine warning signs or overthink minor preferences. Today, we're going to help you develop a much more nuanced approach to reading profiles, one that helps you spot both the red flags that indicate fundamental incompatibilities and the yellow flags that simply warrant further conversation.
Red flags in dating profiles are signs that suggest potentially problematic behaviors, values, or relationship patterns. These aren't about preferences or minor annoyances. They're about core issues that could impact your emotional health and safety. Let's first take a moment to explain the concept of red flags from a therapeutic perspective. In psychology, red flags represent patterns or behaviors that suggest a high likelihood of unhealthy relationship dynamics. They're called red because, like a stop sign, they signal that you should stop and seriously reconsider moving forward. Here are 5 red flags to watch for in dating profiles.
Number 1, hostile or negative language about exes or other matches. Phrases like, "no drama queens like my ex," or "all the people on here are shallow," suggest an inability to take responsibility in relationships. This pattern often indicates what we call an external locus of control, the tendency to blame others rather than reflect on one's own contributions to relationship problems. Number 2, inconsistencies within the profile. Major contradictions in what someone shares can signal dishonesty. For example, someone who claims to be relationship-oriented but only has party photos and suggestive comments might not be presenting an authentic picture. Number 3, controlling language or rigid expectations. Statements like, "must respond within an hour," or extensive lists of physical requirements suggests inflexibility and potentially controlling tendencies. This often reflects narcissistic traits or extreme needs for control. And while anxious attachment can sometimes lead to expectations of immediate responses, seeing these demands from a stranger in a profile often indicates more concerning patterns of control. Number 4, empty profiles with minimal effort. A profile with virtually no information beyond basic photos suggests either a lack of serious intent or an unwillingness to be vulnerable and share about oneself. While this can connect to avoidant attachment patterns, it is also important to acknowledge that some people do have legitimate privacy concerns online. We've seen clients and friends who limit their profile information out of caution rather than avoidance. So the key here is looking at this in context with other signals. And number 5, immediate sexual content or boundary pushing. Profiles that lead with overtly sexual content before establishing any connection often indicate a disconnect between relational and physical aspects of dating. Research in relationship psychology shows that relationships built primarily on physical attraction without an emotional foundation tend to be less stable over time.
Yellow flags, by contrast, aren't automatic deal breakers. They're signals to slow down and explore further before making any judgments. These are aspects of a profile that might reflect differences in communication style, interests, or minor compatibility issues rather than fundamental problems. Yellow flags include
Number one, different communication styles. Perhaps they use more emojis than you're comfortable with, or their writing style is more formal than yours. These differences reflect communication preferences rather than character issues. Number two, interests that don't align with yours. They're passionate about activities you don't enjoy. Remember, healthy relationships don't require identical interests, they require mutual respect for each other's passions. We actually experienced this firsthand. Joel enjoys video games. Well, I never understood the appeal. However, I once dated someone I couldn't tear away from gaming, which initially made me wary of profiles mentioning gaming as a hobby. But this wasn't a deal breaker, just a preference that depended on how someone balanced their interests. Number three, life circumstances that create logistical challenges. Maybe they live further away than ideal or have a demanding work schedule. Now, while these situations warrant consideration, they aren't necessarily reflections of relationship compatibility. Number four, presentation choices that differ from yours. Perhaps their profile photos are all selfies or their profile is minimalist compared to yours. Unlike the empty profile red flag, this yellow flag might be someone who shares moderately but differently than you would. This often reflects style preferences rather than major compatibility issues. And number five, unclear relationship intentions. Sometimes profiles don't explicitly state what someone is looking for. So while clarity is ideal, some people might genuinely want to meet before determining relationship direction.
what's fascinating is how attachment styles often reveal themselves in dating profiles, which can help you understand potential relationship dynamics before you even match. When we look at our animal attachment archetypes, we have cats who represent secure attachment and typically create balanced profiles with clear information about themselves and what they're seeking. They share authentically without oversharing and express boundaries in healthy ways. Their profiles often mention both individual interests and relationship values. Then we have dogs who represent anxious attachment and might create profiles that emphasize connection and relationship orientation. You might notice eager responses, extensive sharing, and sometimes signs of people pleasing. Their profiles often focus heavily on what they can offer a partner rather than what they need in a relationship. And next we have turtles, who represent dismissive avoidant. Turtles tend toward minimal disclosure and independence. Their profiles might emphasize individual achievements and adventures while saying very little about emotional needs or relationship goals. You might notice a pattern of keeping potential partners at arm's length. And finally, we have hedgehogs, who represent fearful avoidance and often create profiles with mixed signals, expressing desire for deep connection alongside hesitancy or self-protection. Their content might contain both vulnerability and guardedness, reflecting their internal conflict about intimacy. Understanding these patterns helps you recognize potential compatibility based on your own attachment style. For example, if you have an anxious attachment style, dog, matching with someone showing strong avoidant patterns, turtle, might trigger insecurity unless both partners are aware of and working on these dynamics.
When evaluating dating profiles, your personal boundaries play a crucial role. Everyone's boundaries are different, which means your red flags might be someone else's yellow flags, and vice versa. What matters is honoring your own non negotiables while remaining open to growth and connection. For instance, if having a partner who shares your faith is essential to you, seeing no mention of spirituality might be a genuine red flag for you specifically, even though it wouldn't be for everyone. This is where generic dating advice can fall short. Your unique relationship needs, values, and history shape what matters in a potential partner's profile for you. The key is distinguishing between preferences, which are negotiable, and values, which are non negotiable.
Let's put this all together into a practical strategy for reading profiles more effectively. Number one, start with your own clarity. Before evaluating others, get clear on your own must-haves and deal breakers. Our relationship guide for must-haves and deal breakers can help with this process. Number 2, look for patterns, not isolated details. One questionable photo or statement isn't necessarily a red flag, but multiple signs pointing to the same concern might be. And number 3, consider context. Dating apps create artificial environments. Someone might struggle to present themselves effectively online, yet might be wonderful in person. When in doubt, move to a video chat or a phone call to get a better sense of who they really are. And number 4, use the 70-30 rule. If a profile feels about 70% aligned with what you're seeking, consider it worth exploring further. Expecting 100% alignment from a profile alone is unrealistic. And number 5, trust your intuition, but examine your triggers. If something feels off, pay attention to that feeling, but also ask yourself if past experiences might be coloring your perception. This self-awareness helps distinguish between genuine warning signs and personal biases.
This brings us to communication. The best way to clarify yellow flags is through direct, respectful communication. If something in a profile gives you pause but doesn't seem like a definite red flag, consider 1, asking clarifying questions when you match and begin chatting. 2, observing how they respond to gentle probing about topics that matter to you. And 3, noticing if they show curiosity about you in return. The quality of these early conversations often reveals far more than the profile itself. Pay particular attention to how they handle differences of opinions or moments of misunderstanding. These interactions provide windows into their communication style and emotional maturity.
We've added this section to address some of the comments from our first video in this online dating series, as we want to acknowledge the real-world concerns and frustrations discussed in our commenter community. Indeed, online dating can sometimes feel superficial or discouraging. As one community member recently pointed out, dating apps often prioritize visual first impressions, which can create challenges for many people.
While there's truth in recognizing that physical appearance plays a role in online dating, we've found through our clinical experience that lasting connections develop through compatibility in values, communication styles, and attachment patterns. Many of our clients have found success by approaching online dating with authenticity rather than trying to present a perfect image. If you've tried online dating and found it discouraging, like another viewer who shared they gave up after a year without meaningful connections, know that you're not alone. Taking breaks from dating apps can be a healthy boundary when the experience becomes more draining than rewarding. We always encourage a balanced approach. Using online dating is just one avenue among many for meeting potential partners. Although this is a series on navigating online dating, as it's so common in the world we now live in, we'll also make videos exploring other avenues of meeting people in the real world.
And we've covered a lot today about distinguishing between red and yellow flags in dating profiles. And we'd love to know, what's one yellow flag you've noticed in dating profiles that you realized wasn't actually a deal breaker? Share in the comments below. Not only can your experiences help others in our community, but often what you share that you're struggling with is something we can address in upcoming videos. So please share in the comments.
If you'd like to continue to work on building healthy relationships, watch this video next. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and take care of your heart.
And remember, you're not alone. We're all in this
Together.